Hello, hello, hello. Can I just tell you how much easier my life is since I have this beanbag for my camera? I love it so much. I just dropped off Tanya Jean, got Tanya, and we drove around. I got a fountain pop. I have not had an actual fountain pop. It's been a while. Like from the gas station, got a fountain pop. It has been a while. And we drove around and we talked, and she said to me tonight, she goes, is your mouth still bothering you where you bit the inside of your mouth? And I said, yes, Tanya, it's driving me crazy. And I go, why? And she goes, because you're lisping more than usual. And I said, I cannot help it, Tanya Jean. It is driving me crazy. It's actually like, it doesn't hurt as bad as it did, but it's like, I'm like used to talking around it now. So I'm afraid that I'm gonna like bite into the side of my mouth and make it worse all over again. So I'm just like trying to be, I turned on the lights and I was like showing her the inside of my mouth and she couldn't see it. And anyway, it is so muggy, you guys. It's 68 degrees. I had the air on and then it got freezing in here. So we opened the windows and then it was muggy, but it felt good. I like the mugginess. I mean, it's literally, you can feel the saturation in the air, but I like the humidity. I kind of live for it. So anyway, let's see. What did I do today? Well, I made videos. I dealt with the dogs. Well, I didn't deal with the dogs. I mean, I took them outside several times. It was so rainy that Pee-Pee wanted to like go way out in the yard, and then he was like coming back in and he would be like 1 foot at a time, having a hard time coming back in because it was like so soggy out there. And fed the dogs, and what else did we do? Made videos, ran errands. I feel like there was something I did when I got up right away that I'm forgetting. My earlier part. I feel like I've been going all day long. And, yeah, got some stuff ready for Alex's birthday. His birthday is on Friday, and he is super excited about it. It's actually funny because, like, you know, I talked about this on here the other night. Like, Alex usually plans his birthday, like, months in advance, and he's doing, like, a dinner, and he's got, you know, people that are going to meet him out afterwards and stuff like that. And it's kind of like half friends, half family birthday dinner. But, he said tonight, he's like, I don't know why, he's like, but this is like the first year. I think his friend's death really affected him more than he'll even like let on, but he was like, I don't know why, but this is like the first year that I'm not super excited about doing something for my birthday. He was like, I almost didn't even really want to do anything, but people kept on asking me, what are you doing for your birthday? What are you doing for your birthday? And he was like, so we were sitting there talking, and he was like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I said, I don't want to do anything for my birthday. I like to go to a movie. That's what I like to do. And so, okay, Alex's mom's 60th birthday is, which is like a big birthday. It's the day after my birthday. I'm the 29th, she's the 30th. And so she really wants to have this huge party. She wants to do it like, you know, Great Gatsby themed, and because she loves that movie. And so it would be hard for them to do a party on a Sunday night because a lot of people work and it'll go late. And so he was like, you know, are you going to care if we do it that Saturday night? And I said, no, not at all. And he was like, well, but what about your birthday? And I said, well, we can. I said, he said, I took Friday off. And I said, well, then let's just go to a movie during the day on Friday, and then we can go out to dinner. And he goes, well, give me the names of the people that you want me to text to come, because he usually like takes care of that stuff. And like, so like when we went with Tanya and my sponsor and stuff, he like arranged all of it and got the reservations. And I said, babe, I said, seriously? I said, if we go see a movie on Friday night and then like go out to dinner with Melissa and Jason and Tanya if she's available or whatever, I said, I'm fine with that. Like, it doesn't have to be any deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, this year, I really don't care. Some year, like my 50th, I want to be in Fiji, or I want to be in, you know, Hawaii or something for my 50th. But my 47th, like, I have a lot of goals for the year to come, but I don't really care if, like, I'm just not somebody that, like, has to have this big fanfare for my birthday, you know? And the thing that's funny is, I almost prefer that there's nothing. Like, I mean, I don't want my birthday to come and go and not do anything. Like, I want to do something, and I want people to be like, happy birthday, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't need a whole lot more than that. I want to, like, if it's nice, go lay out by the pool, you know, or go see a movie in the afternoon, maybe take a nap with my husband, because we don't ever get to do that during the middle of the day unless it's a Sunday. You know, go out to a nice dinner that evening. Low key, I'm totally fine with that. Get up on Saturday, you know, go have brunch, and then, you know, for my birthday, and then come home and, you know, hang out around the house together with the dogs. That's what I love. And then go to the party that night. I told him, I said, because this whole birthday thing for his mom became a mess. And so he and his aunt were, like, arranging it, because it was supposed to be he and his brother and his aunt, and then, like, all this stuff, it started getting messed up. So tonight I said, okay, where are you having the party? And he was like, well, my aunt wants to have it at a restaurant, but I just think it's going to be, you know, too many people at a restaurant, whatever, because his mom wants to have like 30 people or something, 40 people. And so he said, so I just told Carlos, can we have it at your house? So Carlos is going to have his house. I said, okay. I said, you want to do the Great Gatsby theme because that's what she wants, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, find some text, email, little, you know, template that looks like the Great Gatsby, which is easy to do. And I said, and then do the invitation on there and just send it out all through text and email. And he goes, okay, I'm already on that. That's what I was thinking. And I said, then I'll just go to Party City next week and I'll get all the decorations. And I said, then Saturday afternoon, we can go over to Carlos and Liliana's and we can decorate the house. I think that'll be fun anyway. I'd have a lot of fun doing that. And I said, and he goes, you don't mind going to get the because he's super busy next week. Like, next week's like one of his busiest weeks. And he was like, you don't mind doing that? I said, no, I would have fun. I love doing that kind of stuff. Like, I love, you know, decorating for parties and stuff. And I said, are you going to wear a costume? And he goes, well, we're supposed to wear we'll get costumes next week. That'll be fun. We can do that maybe this weekend, is go look at some thrift stores or something, you know. Go to the costume store and see what they have, and it'll be fun, you know. And I said, and just, it doesn't have to be this deep thing. Your mom just wants to be with the people that she loves anyway, you know, just like you do, because that's really what Alex loves. And I said, it's just not that, you know, deep. So he was like, yeah, I agree. So we got that settled. And so that'll be next weekend, and that'll be fun, you know. Like, I like pecan pie or ice cream cake. So if I get a little piece of ice cream cake and pecan pie off program on my birthday, you know, and maybe a nice dinner and a movie with some popcorn, butter popcorn, because I don't ever get butter popcorn because he likes butter on. He doesn't like butter on his popcorn. So if we get if we get popcorn and we split it, we don't usually get extra butter on it. So I'll get my own popcorn with lots of butter on it for my birthday, and then we'll be back on program, I guess. But anyway, but there's like a bunch of movies that I want to see, so I think that would be fun, you know. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about Father's Day, and so he and his wife, you know, it's like their kids are early, or like their kids are young, and he does a lot of the caretaking. And I was like, well, what do you want? Or his wife had asked him, what do you want, you know, like for Father's Day? And he goes, I just want a day to myself to relax and rest, you know. And it like didn't end up being like that. And he was like, you know, and I realized I didn't even really mind. He's like, because those things that I do are the things that I love to do anyway, you know. And I said, well, what would a day, you know, like, to your, because we were talking about it, like, in relationship to my birthday, because I kind of say that stuff on my birthday, like, I just want a day to, like, but I have days to myself all the time, you know. And he was like, I know, isn't it funny? And he was like, that's when you know you have the life that you want, that you wouldn't really change a whole lot, you know. I really wanted to take a trip for our birthdays this year, and it just didn't happen. And I was going to plan something at the last minute and go to the Dominican Republic for the first week of July, because that's really the only week that Alex can travel. But now it's too late with meetings and stuff that he has that he can't even get it off. But all of these reports of the people there turning up dead, and it's just very scary. Like a lot of you commented in the comment section saying, reconsider the Dominican Republic, and then the tourism board has put out like a warning, and like every time Tanya gets in my car, she's like telling me about somebody else that's showing me, oh, here's another one they found dead, isn't that scary, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't want to go there right now. So we're going to Las Vegas in August, and I'm really excited about that. And I have thought about maybe doing Miami for like 3 or 4 days, but Miami for 3 or 4 days. Okay, so there's this hotel in Miami that I really want to stay in. Well, there's probably 4 hotels in Miami that I always want to stay in. The reason we always stay at the Hotel Victor is because, number 1, it's really centrally located, but number 2, for the price, it's pretty, you get a lot. Like, you're right on Ocean Drive, you're right across the street from the beach, it has a really nice pool, the rooms are beautiful, they're a little small, but they're beautiful. But we've stayed there so many times that we want to try some other places. I have to turn the air on. It is so muggy. But there's some other places I would like to stay. I want to stay at this hotel called The One in Miami. And we went there to the rooftop bar. It just is like this gorgeous hotel. And I want to stay there so bad, but it is extremely, extremely pricey. And to go there for like 3 or 4 days is what it would cost us to go. Including like food, going out to restaurants and stuff. It's what it would cost us to go to, what do I want to say? To like an all-inclusive in Mexico. But I'm kind of ready, to be honest with you, just to swallow it and be like, let's go. Because I've really wanted to stay there. It's kind of like a bucket list thing for me. We can't really go somewhere for a week because Alex can't get away for that long. So I'm kind of like, you know what? Let's just do Miami for 4 nights and stay there. And it's a place that I've wanted to stay, and I love hotels. I could go on a vacation and just spend all my time in a hotel. I know that that's crazy, but I love hotels so much. I've always loved them ever since I was a kid. I just love going to hotels. I just love staying there, and we always have a fun time when we travel, and we love checking in and, really getting to know the hotel. That's part of what Alex and I really enjoy about traveling. So, I don't know, maybe we'll do that. I need to look and see. And sometimes in the summer, too, hotels have really good deals on prices and things like that. So we'll have to check it out and see. I got a Diet Pepsi. I usually get Diet Coke, but I've been getting Diet Pepsi. Well, like I said, I haven't had a fountain pop in a while, but the last time, a couple times I did, I got Diet Pepsi. I don't know why. I kind of go back and forth sometimes with it. Oh my God, you guys, the John Wayne Gacy book is so good. Like, I don't want to say where I'm at because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but, obviously, he gets arrested, right? So, I'm, like, past the arrest, and now they're, like, finding the bodies and stuff, and it is so creepy. It is so, so, so creepy. And I'm, like, listening to it in the middle of the night, getting really creeped out. He actually learned one of his tactics that he did from another serial killer, like hearing about the other serial killer, which I thought was interesting. They were reading that, or when I was reading that. Oh. I have a cool birthday present for Alex, but I can't talk about it yet. He never uses this lip balm. He got in the car tonight, and he was like, let me try that, because I had it out. And he goes, let me try that lip balm. And I was like, it's nice, isn't it? He's like, yeah, I have to admit, it is pretty nice. I think the Mountain Dew is my favorite, but they're all pretty good. All of the Humongous lip balms are really good. I don't know what it is that I like that's... I mean, in all honesty, like, it is different than the other lip balms that are cheap like that. It feels a little bit, I don't even know how to explain it, but the way that I would say it is a little bit more like Vaseline-y, like it's a little bit more like sticky. Like it coats your lips more, which I like, because I don't have to put it on as often, because I put lip balm on all the time. I've got to trim my beard. My beard is really long right now. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going over to Alex's mom's house because he asked his grandma to make this cake that she hasn't made since he was like a little kid, and apparently it's like his favorite cake ever. And so she's gonna make that tomorrow. And then Carlos and Liliana can't go to the birthday dinner on Friday because of the kids. I guess Carlos asked Alex, like, we can, like, this is a really nice restaurant we're going to. And he was like, so we can bring the kids, right? And Alex was like, no, this is like an adult birthday party, no kids. You can, you know, get a babysitter or have one of the cousins watch them. And Carlos was like, well, we don't have anybody to watch the kids. When literally they have like 6 cousins that live here, all within about a 5-mile radius. And Alex was like, well, no kids are coming to my birthday party. He was like, I love the kids. He was like, but this is an adult birthday. We're going to go out afterwards and we're going to have drinks. And he was like, you know, go dancing. He was like, so that's, the kids can't get in. It's not appropriate. So I guess Carlos and Liliana can't come on Friday night because they can't find anybody, which I don't know. They don't like to leave the kids alone. Like, really, the only people that babysit the kids are Alex's mom and grandma. Like, that's it. We told Carlitos we were going to take him to a movie sometime. We've been meaning to do that. Up until like a year and a half ago, like, because we had wanted to take him and, like, you know, take him to a baseball game and do some of that kind of stuff. And Carlos and Liliana would be like, you can take him, but you have to watch him, because, like, he runs away. But now he's 6. You know, I mean, you can actually have a real conversation with him, which is nice, you know? And so Alex, you know, we were talking to him the other day, and we were like, would you like your Tios to take you to a movie? Or, you know, something. He was like, yeah, I would love that. And Carlos and Liliana are like, can you take both of them so we can have a date night? I was like, yes, we can take them. You guys can go out on a date night. You can go out to dinner and do whatever, see a movie or whatever, and we'll take the kids for a couple hours. And Sebastian's real easy. Like, when Carlos was Sebastian's age, when Carlitos was that age, I mean, he literally was like into everything, and his attention span was about 30 seconds. He's calmed way down now. But Sebastian is just calm, period. Like, he's just content to just sit there and watch. Like, you could put a movie on in the DVD player or like on cable, and he just sits there and watches it. He's so sweet. Now, he's my godson, and Carlitos is Alex's godson. And so he'll just, like, oh, it was so cute the other day when we were over there for Father's Day. I was like, I said to Hungry, I go, where did Sebastian and Carlos go? And Carlos, the dad, and she was like, I think they went inside. And Carlos was like in the recliner, sitting there watching like a baseball game, half asleep. And Sebastian was sitting on the couch, and I like came in, and he like turned real quick, because their couch is like, when you come in the back door from the patio, it's like up in the living room, and then it's like the back is to the kitchen. And so I was like, what are you doing? And he had this big smile on his face, and I walked over there, and he had this big package of Oreos, and he was like unscrewing the Oreos really, really carefully. It was so sweet, because it reminded me of myself as a kid. He was like unscrewing the Oreos, you know, so real carefully, so that he wouldn't mess up the frosting, and then he was licking the frosting. And I said, Sebastian, I said, your Tio Peter liked to do that when he was your age. And he just looked at me, and he's like, He doesn't understand. He's so sweet. But he understands. I'll tell you something about those kids that's crazy. How do kids at that age know how to do all those tablets and computers and everything? My God. I know I sound like an old person, but like, they're constantly watching videos and stuff. And Alex is like, they don't know what they're doing. He goes, they're just pushing the next one that has like their favorite characters and stuff in it, which I think is kind of true. But I will tell you what is funny is, so Carlitos really was into Spider-Man. He still is really into Spider-Man and what do you call it? The Ninja Turtles. Okay, those were like his things. And like all those people that Alex likes that are from those people, you know, from the Marvel comics, like Carlitos loves all them. Well, I'm not into all that. I don't get it, okay? I just don't get it. And so I gotta turn this air off because now my windshield's messing. Do you hear that? The sounds of Indiana woods. But, Sebastian is really into the Peanuts, like Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Oh my God, those are my favorites, and I'm so happy. And Liliana told me, because I gave him all of my Richard Scarry books from when I was a kid. My mom saved all of those Richard Scarry books, and she saved, my phone is going off like crazy right now, all the Richard Scarry books, and then all of like the Cat in the Hat books, you know, like Go Dog Go and Fish Out of Water, and I gave all of those to Carlitos and Sebastian, and Liliana told me that Sebastian loves those books. I think, like, Carlitos is, like, super athletic, like, super, do you hear that? I love that. Oh, my battery's about to die, but thankfully I have another battery. Carlitos is super athletic. If it dies while I'm talking, I'll change it when I get up here to pull over. But Carlitos is super athletic. And Sebastian, they have him in stuff too, but he's not super coordinated. But I think he's going to be real artsy and different because, like, he loves to draw, and he's not a dancer. Carlitos liked to dance at his age, but Sebastian doesn't really like to dance. He's very shy and always kind of hiding behind Liliana, but always just like with the sweetest smile on his face. They are such good children. They are so well behaved, and yeah, they're just Carlos and Liliana are great parents. They are just such great parents, and you know, it's funny having known Carlos now for 11 years. I mean, when I met him, he was 23, you know, and now he's 34. He and Alex are 11 months apart. And to know him as a dad, and this kind of dad, you know, that just like is with him like all the time, and his kids all the time, and loves being with him all the time. You know, coaches Carlitos' baseball team, and just is so invested in like all of his free time is with them. And then the other thing is, like, it's just like this doting husband to Liliana, you know. He's like, the camera's gonna end anyway. It's at 23 and a half minutes, so let me stop it. I'll be back in just a second. Thank God I grabbed my battery right before I left the house. Look at that green, how pretty that is. Thank God I grabbed the battery right before I left the house. I knew I didn't have enough on there, even though I couldn't remember if I charged it. I was like, because I had filmed the videos earlier, I thought I charged it afterwards, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, you better grab the other battery. So anyway, but Carlos is such like a doting husband too, you know? And he's like just still so in love with Liliana, and I love it, you know? Whenever like they have people over there, they always like dance all romantically and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, that's a family of dancers. They all love to like play the music loud and dance. Even Fufu. And he wasn't like that when he was in high school, like in college. He wasn't like that, but now he loves to like dance to all that music and stuff. Oh. They're such a wonderful family to be part of. I feel so blessed to have them. eyes are tired tonight. My plan was to sit outside and read, but it rained so much today that all of the patio furniture in the back and in the front, I don't even know how because we have like this overhang in front, but it like soaked the glider cushion, and it was like, I literally, when I walked up there earlier, it was like a puddle in it, and I was like, which it would take forever to dry, and I was like, well, that's not going to be happening tonight, even if I put a towel over it, so. It's funny listening to those sounds, you know, like, when I was growing up as a kid, my bedroom windows were to the creek in the woods, and so I would hear, like, you know, like I would hear those sounds, you know, and in like the early fall, like the sound of the cicada and stuff like that out of my window, and you'd hear, like, you know, birds, and you would hear, you know, animals out in the woods. And I was never afraid of it. Like, it never made me afraid, and it was actually very comforting. And, you know, you'd hear like the bubbling of the creek and things like that, and it was always just so soothing to me. And I can remember too, if you've ever grown up like by a woods, or your house is kind of in the woods, like, you know, we would have the windows open at night. My mother would turn off the air. She did not believe in air conditioning after about 6 o'clock in the evening. I mean, she just didn't. And it would, so I can remember, I've talked about this on here before, but I can remember, like, she would crank all the windows open on the upstairs so it would, like, flow through, you know, from one side of the house to the other. And she wouldn't do it downstairs because she was afraid, but she would do it on the second floor, you know. And although our kitchen was like on the second floor, and like the living room was on the first floor, because our kitchen was like, the house was like built on the side of a hill. But I can remember like waking up in the middle of the night, you know, like at 2 o'clock, because you know, when you're a kid, you go to bed early, kind of, you know. I can't remember how late I stayed up. I think I was always allowed to stay up a little bit later, though, like 10 or something like that when I was growing up as a kid. But anyway, I can remember waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, and laying there in bed, and it just like the coolest air in the entire world, you know, from the woods would just like just come over me. And then I've always slept with a fan ever since I was like 5 years old. I can, you know, the fan comes from two things that I sleep with. I sleep with a fan because my Uncle Dave always slept with a fan. And I slept with a fan because I went and I stayed with my aunt and uncle in the summers in Fort Wayne, and they lived on a farm. And they didn't have any centralized air conditioning, so they would have fans in the windows. And centralized air conditioning, what do we call it? Central air. Listen to me being all fancy. Centralized air conditioning. But anyway, they didn't have any air conditioning, so they had like those, you know, those window units, but not in every room. And so like they would, you know, put a fan in the window, and I became obsessed with having a fan like right on me. I can remember like sleeping that way, you know, where I'd have like the blanket half on me, half off me. And, you know, my mom would call it air conditioning your leg, because, you know, you sleep with like one leg out. And she'd say, I like to, you know, scissor my legs on the sheets, the cool sheets, and I like to like air condition my legs, you know. But I can remember that as a kid, you know, that air coming in, and it just smelled so fresh and good. We walked out of our meeting the other night, and literally, I mean, like, I walked out, and it was like somebody must have stopped cutting grass, like right around, when we pulled up, they were cutting grass for the, like, the church where my meeting is. But they must have stopped right before we came out, because all you could smell was like the fresh cut lawn, which is, to me, one of the greatest smells on the earth. And somebody told me a couple years ago, I think this was like a raw foods thing I saw or something, that what you smell is like blades of grass, like being in pain or something. Have you ever heard something like that? I don't know if that's true or not. When they, like, because they're dying or something. That just turned morbid about fresh cut lawn, didn't it? I don't know if that's true or not. But if you know something about that, put it in the comment section below. But the smells of summer are fantastic, especially in the Midwest. You know, like, I think when I was younger, I just thought about a lot of what I thought about was the heat. Like, the heat in the Midwest can be, like, pretty unbearable. And it's not just because of the heat, it's because of the humidity. But somewhere along the way, I fell in love with humidity. Like, I'll complain about it, but I love it, too. You know, there's nothing like sitting on the front porch with a glass of hot, like, cold lemonade, you know? And you're just sweating bullets, sitting out there, saying hi to the neighbors, reading a book. Like, there is nothing better than that. I love that, you know? And, but it is very humid here. I mean, it's the middle of June, and it is soggy outside, to say the least. And, but, you know, all the smells of, you know, the Midwest in the summer, from even the heat kind of has a smell to it. I don't even know how to explain it, but, you know, from chlorinated pools to the lawn to just the air outside, you know, and like smelling like the trees and the flowers, and then, you know, like the smell of state fairs and county fairs and cotton candy and, you know, like, you know, corn dogs and the pens of the animals that they bring, you know, and the livestock, and just walking around the Midway late at night, you know, seeing all the lights of the Midway at the fair. I love fairs. I've always included them in the stories and the books that I've written. There's something magical about a county fair, and if you've never been to a county fair, you need to put it on your bucket list and go just once. There's something very, very magical about it, and just with all the lights and the intrigue, and, you know, the people traveling from town to town, and like the carnies, and, you know, I mean, it has a grittiness and a seediness to it too, which I think is part of what is mysterious about a fair, you know. And I remember when I was a kid, where I lived, we didn't have a county. If we had a county fair, I didn't go to it. I'm sure we did, but I didn't go to it. But we had a fair, like a little carnival, that they would, it wasn't a fair, it was a carnival, that they would set up in the Target parking lot. And I remember every year we would get so excited to go, you know. And I've never been one to ride rides. I don't love rides, and, you know, now being epileptic, I can't ride rides. I have ridden some rides in the past, but I don't love it. And, but I love just walking around. I loved playing games at a fair or at a carnival when I was a kid. My mom and I, we used to always go to the Indiana State Fair. It's one of the best fairs in the country. And, so I've been told. And, you know, we would park. Do you hear that sound again? We would park, and it's like in this big circle. It's huge. The Indiana State Fair is huge. So you park on one end of it, and then we would walk in. And when you walk in, you pass like the horse area where they keep the horses at night. But like all of the animals are kept in one area, like different barns, like these huge, huge, huge barns with hundreds of animals in it. And so we would start at the pig barn, and then we would go to like the sheep and goat barn, and then the horse barn and the steer barn, and we would watch the shows and do the crossing of the steers. It was interesting, you know, watch all that stuff. Plus, I always had cousins that were farmers, so, you know, when I was a little kid, we would watch it. But as I got older, my mom and I would go, and then we would walk around and we would look at all of the 4-H crafts, and then we would get food. My mom always had to have a corn dog, or she loved a good tenderloin sandwich. That was like one of my mom's favorites. I usually got corn dogs, but as I got older, I would get grilled cheese sandwiches from the Milk Barn. The Milk Barn had some of the best grilled cheese sandwiches and milkshakes as well. And so I would usually get 2 grilled cheese sandwiches from there, and then like cotton candy or, you know, an elephant ear. You have to have an elephant ear. If you don't know what an elephant ear is, last time I talked about them on here, there were some people that were like, and you actually eat an elephant ear? No. An elephant ear is, my mother, who was like such a lover of elephants, she would never in a million years. An elephant ear is a pastry, and it is, what do you call it? It's like, it looks like an elephant ear, and it's like kind of thin and crispy, and then they put like this powdered sugar and cinnamon over it, and it's so good if you've never had an elephant ear. Now, what's interesting is that these kind of like bougie beatnik restaurants in Indianapolis, they're putting elephant ears on their menus for desserts, which I think is really interesting. What's the other thing? A funnel cake. A funnel cake is similar to an elephant ear, but it has like tons of powdered sugar, or you can get like, you know, like berry drippings and stuff like that, or chocolate on it. But a lot of people get funnel cakes at the fairs too. And then of course, they have I know there are people out there that are dieting. Well, I'm dieting too, and I'm doing just fine having this conversation. But they also have like the deep fried Twinkies, the deep fried Oreos, the deep fried Snicker bars, the deep fried what did I say, Oreos already? The deep fried ding dongs, the deep fried this, the deep fried cheeseburgers, the deep fried donuts, on and on and on. So you have to try some of that. And then they have the walking taco, which is in a bag of Frito-Lays. I've never had that, but they always look delicious. But now that I'm a vegetarian, I can't have them. Oh my God, the lemon shake-ups. You have to have a lemon shake-up if you go to the state fair. It's like they take a cup, like a huge cup like this. Well, you have to get a large. You don't want to get a small. And then they put a bunch of sugar in it, like tons of sugar. And then they squeeze real lemons in it, and they shake. It's lemon shake-up, that's why. And they shake it up. It's like the best lemonade you've ever had in your entire life. So we would do that, and we would walk around. One of my favorite things to do when I go to the state fair, and I don't think I've been the last 2 years. Tanya and I maybe went 2 years ago. Alex knows how important it is to me, because like ever since my mom passed away, it's like really important for me to go to the state fair. But it's hard too sometimes, because that's something I so associate with my mom. But one of my favorite things to do as the night is getting later is to, usually cotton candy is the last thing I get, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But as the night is getting later, when you go into the animal barns, they're not showing animals anymore, and they're putting the animals to sleep. And so, like, let's say if somebody is showing sheep, and let's say they have like 2 sheep in each pen, then they'll have like a 3rd and a 4th pen like behind it that they keep for their place to stay. And so there will be like, some of them have tents, some of them have big awnings, some of them have little TVs and microwaves in there, and they actually have like a little apartment built that you can walk by, you can see like with cots and blow up beds and stuff. And it always just looks so homey to me. Like when you're walking by looking at these animals, you see where these people are living for the week, and it always just looks so homey to me, and I always wanted to stay there. I always thought that would be so much fun, you know? And now I'm ready to go to the fair. But and then at the end of the night, there's this thing that goes around. It's not really a train. It's kind of more like a, I don't know what you would call it, but it's a tractor, and it pulls these huge things that probably, each one probably fits 20 people on either side. And it's like these wooden benches, right? And so like each tractor pulls 2 of them. So, and it's $1 a person, $1 a person to ride around the entire fair. So my mom and I will like walk to where we're getting ready to park, and then we'll get on the train. This is like one of the last things we do, and then we get cotton candy or cookies, or sometimes we get the peanuts. My mother loved, I just said it in present tense like she's still alive. Isn't that weird? My mother loved like saltwater taffy, which is a big thing that you get at the fair too, saltwater taffy, or fudge. Oh my God, you have to get your fudge at the fair. They have peanut butter and all kinds of fudge. So then you get your, you know, your end of the night thing, which is, you know, maybe one more lemon shake-up. I mean, you're so full by that point, right? Because all you do is go to the fair to eat. I literally, my friends like Melissa and Jason, they like go to the fair for lunch and just that, and then leave. And they'll do it like 5 days out of the week. Cracks me up. But anyway, Melissa always does stuff at the fair because of the dog rescue stuff. Like they have like tents. Because, you know, like people donate stuff, like they donate, like, not donate, but like they'll have booths there and stuff that you can go there for. And Melissa was actually, when she was in high school, she was Miss Allen County. So she got to come and compete in Miss Indiana State Fair pageant, just so you know. I always joke with her, I'm like, Miss Allen County. So anyway, Melissa grew up where my dad grew up. Is that not funny? So the last thing that my mom and I would do, and now Tanya and I do it, or Alex and I do it, is we go to where we're going to park so that we have a full lap all the way around, and it takes about 40 minutes to go around. And then you get your last little thing, you know, whatever, you know, your cotton candy or your elephant ear, but it's kind of hard to eat on the tram, that's what I was looking for, you know, or you get your fudge or whatever, and then you sit there, and then you just go around, and it makes stops. It makes like 10 or 15 stops along the way, and then you just people watch for 45 minutes. It's so much fun. And then when you're done, you get off, and I don't know what that was. You get off, and you go to your car, and you leave, and it's fun. It's super fun. And then in the distance, the Midway is still going, and the Ferris wheel is still going, and the lights of the fair are still going, and it's like a perfect summer evening. It's fantastic, you know? I love it. It's one of my favorite nights of the year, I think, going to the fair. I remember, like, the first year, I think the first year my mom died, I'm pretty sure I did not go. And then Alex and I were dating, and that would have been the first year that we were together. And I built it up like I just did with you. But then we got down to the time to go, and I didn't want to go. And he was like, but babe, I know how important it is to you. And I go, no, I don't want to go. It reminds me too much of my mom. But I kind of got out of that. And then a couple of years ago, Tanya and I went. We went with her niece. The three of us went. And we had such a blast. Oh my, we were laughing so hard on the way home. She's the same niece that was like so excited to go see those 50 Shades of Grey movies, 50 Shades of Grey, because she had read all the books, which I had too, because people talked about them nonstop to me, so I thought I should probably read them. But, so we went to go see 50 Shades of Grey with her, and she got so mad at us. Tanya and I almost got kicked out of the movie theater. We were acting like such fools. When he was like, do you want to see my game room? Tanya and I were like, your game room, oh my God. And, or my playroom, I think is what he said. She's like, is that where you play games? Tanya and I were rolling in laughter. There were like 3 other couples in there. They were not happy about us talking during the movies. My beard is driving me nuts tonight. Yeah, summer in the Midwest is fun. It's fun just to like get up, go to the pool, take a nap, go out to dinner. When Alex and I first started dating, man, let me just tell you what our weekends looked like. We would get up, and we didn't sleep in back then. I mean, we didn't sleep in. Today, we can sleep in till 1 easily. Back then, we would get up, and we would go to the pool, and we would lay out at the pool. We would be out there by 9:30, 10, and we would lay out to the pool till like 2, and then we would go, 2 or 3, we would go to this place called Eddie Met Salad, which I was talking about the other night, and we would go get salads for lunch, dinner, and then we would do a little shopping on the way home, find a cute outfit for the night, and then we would go home and take naps, have a little romance, and then we would get up and meet his friends out. And we went out all the time when we first got together, and we would go out, we would go salsa dancing, we would go to the gay bars in Indianapolis, and it was so fun. And then afterwards, you know, we would go to like Steak and Shake on the way home and get like food and stay up till 5 in the morning. I just don't think I can do that anymore. Like, I mean, I had fun doing that, and I'm excited about going out for his birthday because I haven't been out in so long. And that guy looked like an old friend of mine from like 25 years ago. But like, still looked exactly like he looked 25 years ago. Which I'm sure he probably doesn't today. But anyway, like I'm excited about going out for Alex's birthday because I haven't been out, you know, like in a long time. So, I'm excited about doing that. I think it'll be fun. I kind of miss my pageant people today. I was thinking about that earlier, about how I kind of missed some of them. That was so much fun. I think I'm going to make this a shorter vlog tonight. I really do want to listen to some of my audiobook and kind of get some of it out. I'm nearing the end, and I want to get it done. And I just downloaded a new book on Audible that I want to listen to, the new Blake Crouch book I really want to listen to. So I want to finish the John Wayne Gacy book. But anyway, I'm going to get off here now. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday, unless you have an amazing Thursday is what I say. Amazing Thursday, scratch. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans. But don't. Life is short. Make it the most amazing day possible. I think all of us should try to have a good attitude each day. As hard as that is sometimes, you know. And if you're down today, trust me, things will get better. I know. I've been real down before too, and this too shall pass. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.